Hey Element, it's good to be back with you. I hope over the last few weeks you've not only been challenged in how you see Jesus and how you see the world, but you've also gotten an opportunity to get to know the people you're sitting around a circle with. That's the whole reason we do Element, is for you to be known, valued, and loved. So continue to lean into those conversations and lean into those people. Tonight we want to talk to you about decisions. Whenever we change anything in our life, it always comes to a decision point. Whether you're deciding to be on the basketball team or start a metal band, whether you're deciding to go to Cane's or Popeyes, whether you're deciding to come to Element or to play Xbox, whatever it comes down to, you're always making decisions. And in our high-paced, rapid-fire world that we're in with technology, super technology in your pocket, every vibration that comes from your pocket is another decision. Every notification that gets pushed through is another decision. You sitting in classes and learning and deciding on tests, another decision. Let's talk to you seniors for a second. Like, you got your mind set on after graduation, you're making big decisions. We get tired of making decisions sometimes. And we put important decisions off, or we just say, I'll get to it someday. Or they're just so big that we're just intimidated. Tonight we want to talk about a few decisions that have to do with the last few things that we've talked about. Deciding whether or not you want to leave the burning home you're in or the sinking ship that you're on. Whether you truly want to see the good in you that God sees in you. Deciding whether you want to change something that's only bringing you pain and death in your life. Whether you want to change the way that you see Jesus and realize that He's actually what you've been looking for the whole time. There's going to be 4 opportunities to make decisions tonight. And these are all kind of like tied together, but there's distinct differences in each. And so I want you to listen really close. And I want you to decide, if you were to make a decision tonight, which one of these most hits home with you. First, I want to take you back to the beginning of the year, where I told you a story about Jesus walking on water and Peter walking on water too, trying to figure out how he is going to survive in this sinking boat in the middle of the sea. And Jesus does this incredible thing where Peter walks on water with him for a little bit, struggles with his faith, and Jesus saves him anyways. And they get back in the boat and the storm calms, and they're like, what just happened? This must be the Son of God. It's an incredible thing. And then I likened it to a metaphor, a made-up story of a firefighter, people who men and women who I truly believe are heroes, willing to risk their lives to run into a burning home to save people, to save you, let's say. And the burning home represents, all the stuff in our life that's hurting us, all the failures, all the mistakes we've made, the things in the past that's happened to us, that's wounded us. It feels like a burning home. It feels like a sinking boat. But if we go back to that Peter story where he was walking on water, we see this situation where him and his friends, they've been fighting so long in this situation. The storm's been raging 9 hours. It's like 4 a.m. if you remember. They're exhausted. They're anxious. They're overwhelmed. They're afraid. And they're about to give up. I truly believe that. I feel like it was like the brink of just surrendering to the storm. And they see Jesus walking at them like a ghost, and they actually get freaked out because they used to tell this exact ghost story when they were kids in their culture. Like, if you're on the water at night, the ghost will come and get you. So here comes Jesus walking across the water, and Peter is just this fun-loving redneck, is like how I like to think of him. And he says, if you're walking on water, I want to walk on water. He gets out of the boat, and he takes a few steps, and then he sees the waves crashing around him, and he starts to sink. And this reminds me of people who have started coming to Element, students who have started to give Jesus a chance, and then they get overwhelmed by the waves again. So like maybe even last year, or maybe at camp, you had some sort of experience where you're like, okay, this feels new to me. This feels like a new way to live. It feels like I'm walking on water. Something's different. And then all of a sudden life hit again. And the waves started crashing and the wind started blowing and things got really loud again. And you started to sink. And then we think it's over. We think we gave that Jesus thing a shot and now we're sinking and so it's over. But here's what Jesus does in Peter's situation. He reaches down and grabs his hand and says, it's okay. I know you doubt, but I love you anyways. Oh, you of little faith. Why did you doubt? And then he picks Peter up. And hey, remember in this, Peter would outstretch his hand to grab Jesus' hand too. It wasn't just Jesus picking him up like a baby out of the water. I don't see that. I see Peter once again reaching towards Jesus. And maybe that's the decision point where you're at. Maybe it's the first time you've ever felt like you're walking on water. Maybe you've never felt that. Maybe you feel like you're still in the boat and you're sinking. Here's the truth of the story. Jesus saves Peter before he calms the storm, before the storm goes away. And so even if you're in the middle of the storm right now, you're anxious, you're afraid, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're worn out, you're ready to give up, Jesus isn't done yet. Maybe the moment has come where you reach out your hand as he's reaching out his. And he runs into your burning home of a life, holds open the doorway, and says, I want to make a way for you. I'm going to pay for this burning home. I'm going to calm this storm by dying for your sins, all the things that have happened to you in the past. And then we're going to start to walk on water again. You're going to see things. You're going to feel things. Your life is going to change. And we're going to walk in relationship. So the symbol that represents this decision is the flame, the burning home. Are you willing? Are you at a place where you're ready to accept Jesus' help running into your burning home and holding open the passageway between earth and heaven? And are you willing to take his offer of his sacrifice and to run out of that old life into a new life?